Hi there folks, and welcome once again to Area 108, my sci-fi geek channel. So this is just this video is just going to give a look at this model that I've just completed recently in the last few days. It's the interior, it's a portion of the interior of the Earth to Mars container ship, the EMAC. EMAC stands for Earth Mars Mission Area Cydonia. So so this is the accommodation level here. So I'll just pull back so you can see it a little bit more. So this would be a corridor leading into the accommodation section. Some low-level lighting there, and we'll just move up here in towards the ladder, which leads up into what could be obviously another level. The other level could be the medical section or the bridge. But actually, I think this particular section is in a rotating ring for gravity. So I think this particular section would have like maybe 3 levels in it. So the bridge would be, I'm going to place the bridge on the top level for now. So of course from here, if you're going up to the bridge, there would also be a lift, an elevator as well. Okay, so that's that. Let's just go through the pressure door. I'll see if I can open it smoothly this time. Yes, perfectly smoothly with a nice pressure door sound there. So this is into the corridor of the accommodation section. So this is where some of the crew quarters will be. I'll just show you the colour coding on the floor here, which I'm quite happy with. I think that's a very soothing, welcoming colour, and a nice contrast to the white and the grey of the walls. So there we are, junction 4. So into the corridor, you can see we've got overhead lighting strips and also a lighting grill on the ceiling element here. I must admit I really like this ceiling element. I was looking at some shots of the interior lighting column on board a Boeing Dreamliner aircraft, and it's a little bit similar to this, that central curve element there with lighting both sides. So you might have already noticed that there seems to be some kind of movement at the bottom, at the end of this corridor. And what that actually is it's me. It's a reflection. So I got this idea from the way they did the corridors in the first Alien movie, the corridors of the Nostromo, which also, as you've probably gathered by now, has been a strong influence in this design. But what they did is they built half of this set and then put a big mirror on it and reflected the other half. So half of this, what you see in the corridor now, is a reflection, and I'm just going to wave to you. There I am, waving at this end of the corridor, which is reflected at the other end. The great thing about when I take photos of this is that I can 3D paint out my reflection at the end of this corridor, so that it just looks like as though it's a corridor going further down, and it doesn't ruin the illusion. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out and show you behind the scenes and just give you a bit of an insight into the build. So we're coming right out and I'll show you the whole thing from a distance. I must admit, I also like, I love the outside of this because it actually does look like a miniature movie set. You know, when you see videos on YouTube about filming behind the scenes, it really does look the way a movie set looks there. So lots of stuff going on behind the scenes here. LED lighting strips fixed in position, and behind here I'll just show you an effect that I quite like. It's basically, my lighting skills are super low tech. I'm not good with lighting models at all. So what I use is I use LED strips and also torches. See if this one's bright enough. No, actually it doesn't. Yeah, that's bright enough. I use torches to get the effects that I need, and as far as from within the model goes, it works perfectly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come down here, and then I'm going to apply this. Don't know if you can see those lights there. It's not very bright, is it? No. Okay, I'll see if I can get a brighter light to show you. This one is really bright. So there it is. So you can see that I've put the light behind, the torch behind this area here, behind the ladders, and it just looks like indication lights of some kind. There's another one here, this green light here, which indicates that everything is functioning good with the pressure door. And again, all I'm doing is I'm putting a torch behind there. So super low tech, but giving quite a high tech result there. Also, here's a look over the top there. That's just a rear light, a red rear light for a bicycle, and a white light for a bicycle. So if I switch both those on there, and tricky. Hang on a minute. There, red and white bicycle light, and then from here you see this green light here and a green light here, and if I put this on emergency mode, we get quite a nice red emergency flashing light on this side and there. And I'll just leave those on there. Alright, so I'll connect up the LEDs now and show you how that affects the inside. So here on the outside you can see the LEDs, and if we go back inside the corridor, suddenly we've got nice floor lighting there. So that's coming up from outside of the model. I think that gives a really nice effect. There's also a lighting effect on the ceiling here. So actually there's covers on the right side, so I'm going to take these covers are blocking the light out, so I'm going to take these covers off here so that the daylight can actually shine through those. And there you see we've also got ceiling lighting both sides. There's also, for lighting here on the top, what I've done is I've made these covers here, which are like blue covers for the ceiling. Put those on, put a bright light on top, and you should get an idea of how, you should be able to see how that sort of gives a blue effect. I've got a really big flood lamp that I put over the top of these, and then the whole of the ceiling kind of lights up blue. Can't really see it that well here. Don't think. Yeah, there it is. I'm just moving the light so you can see when all of these areas are completely lit up. The ceiling looks really cool. Kind of a blue effect. Very spaceship-like. Let's go down to the outside of the model, and I'll show you this mirror here. So there's the mirror behind it, reflecting the first half of the corridor. So you can see that actually really gives a really good effect there. Here you can see on this wall, what I've used is plug socket fittings and some other diddly bobbers, whatever you call them, from an electrical store, and then just kind of stuck them on like that. I'm going to take the roof off here now. I'm going to take the ceiling off to show you the interior of the corridor, and I'll just take that off there. I'll show you that in a moment. So here's the interior of the corridor, and again, strong design feature from, again, plug sockets. So these are just plug sockets. This is the back side of the pressure door. Here is the entrance to crew accommodation, which clearly has a very different design from the pressure door. It's kind of very human, very welcoming. There's even a piece of artwork hanging outside this particular crew member's door. Here is the feature. This is like a plant culture. So this ship going to Mars is going to be carrying all kinds of plant culture projects on board, and the idea behind this showing out into the corridor is that this crew member here and other crew members will be working on plant experiments in their apartments. So it's kind of a design feature, and something to give them something to do outside of the regular duties on board this ship. But the ship is designed so that they can display their experiment or work out into the corridors of the ship. So kind of at regular places in the ship you will see this, and also pieces of artwork hanging. So this is a very human environment for the crew to be on, travelling to Mars. Yeah. So I'll just come down here, see if I can show you a lower shot of the crew quarters. There. So this thing came together quite quickly, actually. 10 days. This was a 10-day project, and I was working pretty much all day on it. It was a full-time project. It's made with card, plastic, bits and bobs from an architect model supply store, from an electrical store. If I just turn the ceiling over here so you can see the work that went into this. So these here, this central column that again I said was inspired by the Boeing Dreamliner aircraft. These are actually 7-day tablet containers. So here you can see there's 7 of these on each one, and they're just painted white. Before they were painted, it had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday written on them. So they're just pill containers from the pharmacy that I bought. There. These are like plastic pipes that I bought from the architect model supply store. And they're just just basically stuff that looks as though it does something on the ceiling, you know, like supply pipes or something like that, something to do with the functioning of the spaceship. But yeah, quite happy with that design. I think it works really well for the ship. It looks very functional, but also clean. It's got a clean vibe to it. As we go in here to the ladder, I'm just going to come up behind there. That's the ladder leading up to nowhere. And that's it really. That's the model in its complete form. It was actually done on a wooden base. If I come down here, I can just show you the wooden base, and it's kind of raised up on support sticks there to keep the floor stable. It's quite a nice low down angle of the thing. So yeah, so that's it. That's a brief description of this project. I've been posting this over on some science fiction pages on Facebook, and I got really fantastic feedback from so many people. So yeah, I'd just like to offer a lot of thanks for that encouragement that I got from people. It really was encouraging to get feedback, and people have been genuinely interested in this. So thank you for that to everybody who gave a comment and a suggestion or a critique. What's going to happen with this now is I'm hoping it's going to turn into something big. I'm going to go over to GoFundMe and put this on with a view to building a lot more of the ship, like the inside of the crew accommodation quarters, the medical section, engineering section, bridge section, and a whole new design for the outside of the ship as well. And then from there, my idea is to, I'm an artist as well, so from there, my idea is to create a graphic novel, a visual novel of what happens to the crew on their mission to Mars. I've got a great idea for a bit of a psychological thriller of what happens to the crew of this ship as they're making their journey to Mars. So I'm hoping that can come into reality, that I can manifest that into reality via GoFundMe or any other funding that I can get from anywhere else really. Apart from the bank, I'm not going to the bank. Anyway, so as always, I hope this video finds you well. Hope you enjoyed the video. I welcome any feedback or comments or suggestions. And as always, I always welcome new subscribers. Yeah, so I hope to post another video soon, and that's enough for now. Bye for now.